Hey everyone, welcome back to Adulting with Micah. So, I wanted to take this time today to talk about some cool projects we couldn't talk about earlier, but now that they're out in the public, I wanted to just clue you in on some things. So, I recently had the opportunity to be featured in 3 articles, one for Fox News and 2 for the Business Insider. I will make sure to drop the links below so you all can check those out. But essentially, I had the opportunity to sit with 2 reporters to really talk about my experience with my student loan debt payoff journey. As you all know, the Biden administration is making an effort to forgive student loans for a particular group of people. And right now, I think there's talks of a lot of litigation on whether it is okay for the administration to do that or not. But student loan relief is here. So I have not mentioned this before, but I am or was an ambassador for SoFi, a company that you all may or may not have heard. They may or may not have a stadium in Los Angeles. SoFi was the company that I refinanced my student loans with back when I was in New York. They also do other things such as mortgages, personal loans, insurance, and just a lot of other different things, and even also do some career coaching. I ended up refinancing my student loans from the federal government to SoFi because I had a better interest rate at the time. And so that was sort of my big leap of leaving the public service loan forgiveness program and just sort of kind of going it on my own and moving my loans over to SoFi. Once I refinanced my student loans with SoFi, they had a lot of cool events for members where Demetrius and I, once I got on my debt payoff journey and was super serious about it, Demetrius and I would go to so many SoFi events in New York City, whether they were happy hours, but not just happy hours, but happy hours with a purpose. So you get to network with other like-minded individuals who are trying to work on their path to financial freedom, whether that is saving for a home, doing home renovations, student loan payoff, personal loan payoff. And so I have been a member with them since about 2017 and just a big supporter of their products and what it is that they're doing. From there, I had the opportunity to become an ambassador for SoFi. And again, it was based off of my own personal experience with them, starting with just my student loan refinancing. And also too, they have branched off to doing career advising. They have a partnership with the Career Coach Company, and I actually used them quite a few times as I started to make pivots within my own personal career. Because of that, and being an ambassador this past June, I was actually able to go to a SoFi ambassador event in the San Francisco Bay Area. And it was a lot of fun, and just being able to speak with other ambassadors throughout the nation where we get to talk about how to make products better for SoFi, for the company, what they can do to increase user engagement. And they're very big on wanting to make sure that they are tapped into what are the needs of the SoFi community. And so I've always appreciated those sort of events and just interactions and those user experiences. Someone had reached out to me from SoFi's publicity team, and they had asked me, they said, hey, would you be interested in sharing your story? And it wasn't just my story, but they were asking for SoFi members to share their, experience, whether it was through personal loans, student loan refinancing. They have a lot of other different products. So I shared my personal story on why I had refinanced my student loans through SoFi. And so they're like, we'll take this story, we'll shop it around to a few articles and news organizations, and we'll let you know if somebody is interested in hearing about your story. I was like, okay, no worries. And so a few months go by, and the publicist from SoFi reaches out to me, and she says, hey, Fox News wants to sit down and do an interview with you. This was actually in September, so not too long ago. And I was like, yeah, what are they interested in? And they were like, they want to know with everything that's happening with, the student loan payoff, what's been your experience, and why are you someone, particularly probably in the millennial category, why did you decide to pay off your loans? And I was like, okay, yeah, be happy to share my experience. And so that's how I got connected with the journalist over at Fox. So my original thoughts about the article after reading it, I didn't really care too much for the title itself. It said, I think, Young Mom Pays Off Student Loans. And for me, I'm like, well, I paid off my student loans before I became a mom, but everything else, I guess you just need a headline to kind of get some traction on things. But reading the article, it was very nice to see the words that I have, and then also two parts about the article that I didn't touch on was really the current climate of the student loan refinance program, because there's just so much going on. Today it's forgiven, tomorrow it's not, and it's just, as a person who had to pay off student loans, like, to wait to have to pay off your loans and to kind of just see it be kind of like this this game of tennis. It sucks. It sucks for the individuals who are waiting to get their loans, paid off. I'm happy for those that are going to get their loans paid off. That's exciting. I also think about those who don't qualify to get their loans paid off, and I'm pretty empathetic towards that, because now those individuals have to think about what to do and how to start to come up with a financial plan of, sort of putting a plan in motion, writing down where all of their student loans or just debt lies with the different financiers. Education is just way too expensive in America. It is. And that also has to be something that's really dealt with. And so within those articles, I shared the journey and how I got here, the strategies that I've used to pay off my student loans, and really hoping to get connected with a community of individuals that are trying to pay off their debt, whether it is student loans, personal loans, saving for a house, things like that. And I don't want to oversimplify it too much, because again, my journey did take 13 years, but I did want to show, hopefully, for other folks that are out there trying to make effort towards their debt payoff, that these things take time. They're not an overnight thing that I think sometimes we always see on social media, and great for those folks, but what about people who are not making six-figure high-paying jobs and salaries? And what are about folks that have also other responsibilities, such as caring for kids or caring for a family member? Please check those articles out. I do give numbers in the Business Insider, so if you want some full transparency of kind of what I was making at the time, I talk those numbers because I think it's very helpful to be transparent about this process, because I know it's really uncomfortable. Like, I'm itching myself now. I know it's really uncomfortable to talk about money, salaries. Those are things we're not supposed to really highlight, but I felt comfortable sharing that because it is a journey. It wasn't easy, but I at least wanted to show what my salary was in New York City at the time when I was making an effort towards my graduate student loans, and also to having to get side hustles such as babysitting, such as having potlucks with friends to save money on cost and things like that. So I go into more details on those articles, and I'm hoping maybe for the future, I can continue to share my story. I'm definitely open to speaking with other, organizations in the future, news organizations, or even maybe doing some collaborations with, financial podcasts and things like that, because I feel like financial freedom is going to be the topic of conversation for a very long time. So we might as well get comfortable with it, embrace it, and start to share some tips where we can help one another. If you can do me a favor, please check out the articles that we're going to link below. Let me know what you think, and please make some comments on questions that you have that maybe I didn't answer, or things that were unclear when you read the article, because I would like to do a video on a Q&A where I'll be looking at the comments from a lot of different videos that we've created on the channel so far, and I'll just pull them open and start answering them. So please do that. That would be great for me, and I would love to know what your thoughts were, okay? Please be sure to comment and subscribe, and I'll talk to you on the next video. Take care.